Hey, today we're going to talk about Parshas balak, but in keeping with the norm, we'll speak, of course, about Bilam. Bilam is a very unusual character. We know that Bilam is considered the antithesis of Klal Yisrael. Ad kedei kach that the Maharal tells us in Netzach Yisrael, it's specifically and appropriately that it should come from Bilam, the testimony of the greatness of the Jewish people. For all testimony, says the Maharal, must come mibachutz, from the outside. And Bilam is chosen because there's no one who's more outside to that which the Jewish people represent than Bilam HaRasha. It's interesting that the Gemara in Sanhedrin on Daf Kufay tells us that not only is Bilam the antithesis, but his forerunners are also the antithesis to one degree or another of the Jewish people. He comes from Be'or. Be'or is associated with Lavan. We know that Lavan is the archetype, Arami Oved Ave. He stands in opposition to Yaakov Avinu. His whole essence cries out against the form of existence that Yaakov Avinu represents. And so it appears to be a family trait, at least according to the Gemara in Sanhedrin, though there are other sources that suggest through the process of transmigration of souls that Lavan and Bilam are actually one. But at the very least, we know that it's a family trait, this standing in opposition to that which the Jewish people represent. What exactly, though, is this antithesis of Bilam? How does he represent something that stands so diametrically opposed to the Jewish people? Let's examine just for a moment, if we will, that which the Maharal says, or just the Mishnah alone, actually, in an Avos. Kol mish yesh bo shlosha dvarim halalu hu mitalmidav shel Avram Avinu. Ushlosha dvarim acherim hu mitalmidav shel Bilam HaRasha. Three qualities present a person as a Talmud of Avram Avinu. Three qualities present a person as a Talmud of Bilam HaRasha. Ayin tova v'ruach nemucha v'nefesh shvela mitalmidav shel Avram Avinu. A person who has the three qualities of looking positively upon someone else's success, ayin tova, ruach nemucha, as it were, not a haughty individual, nefesh shvela, he doesn't have a great many needs within his life, etc. And there's a lot to be explained in each one of these concepts. He's a Talmud of Avram Avinu. And who is one who represents the studentship, as it were, of Bilam HaRasha? Ayin ra, ruach gvoa, v'nefesh rechava, mitalmidav shel Bilam HaRasha. It's a fascinating thing. What does it mean to be a Talmud of Bilam HaRasha? I understand, if we're speaking from Avram Avinu's point of view, to be a Talmud of Avram Avinu means that Avram Avinu taught his students to have Ayin Tova. He taught his students to have Ruach Shvela. He taught his students to have a Ruach Nemucha. But when we speak about Bilam HaRasha, and we're talking about that he has Talmidim, he has to teach a person to have an Ayin Ra, he has to teach a person not to have a Nefesh Rechava, etc. What are we talking about? But that is precisely the point. Bilam is a person whom the Torah itself testifies he's Yodea Das Elyon. He knows the secrets of the universe. Chazal tell us that while Moshe Rabbeinu stands alone in his prophecy amongst the Jewish people, but there's someone on his par within the nations of the world, and that is who? That's Bilam. And yet, what's taught in Bilam's house of study is that knowledge and behavior are non-related. A person's midos, a person's character traits, a person's ethics, a person's morals, never the twain shall meet. Knowledge is for the disembodied intellect. Knowledge is meant something to reside within the world of the cerebral. But to affect the world of action, that's a completely different realm, and a realm that's irrelevant to the person who's in the pursuit of knowledge. Implicitly, that's what Bilam teaches in his base medrash. That's what he teaches in his house of study. That the effect of one, the learning of one, the study of knowledge, to the point of Yodea Das Elyon, has no ramifications, bears no fruit in the world of a person's personal behavior. It's that sort of studying, it's that sort of learning that the Torah stands diametrically opposed to. That's why Bilam is unequivocally qualified to be the one who testifies to the greatness of the Jewish people, because there is no one more antithetical. He stands diametrically opposed to the Jewish people, to what we represent in Torah, to the way we study Torah, and that's why we survive, because our study of Torah, in fact, is so distant from his understanding of knowledge.